Deputy 4 minutes.
Minister, I stated earlier at a Budgetary Oversight Committee that things are still unwell in the state of Angola, despite the fact that the Department of Health are providing 17 billion plus, an increase of 11.6% from last year's budget. The Department of Health is clearly overrunning by a budget that I would project is over 150 million by the end of this year. And managers are being told, in my belief, by the Budgetary Oversight Group in the Department of Health to take corrective measures, and this here is clearly a victim of one of those in Strohan House. What we used to call cuts are now called interventions, or indeed operating to a budget. Last week, service users in Strohan House in Dundalk and their families received a letter from the HSE Minister saying the facility would be closing down by the end of the year. Strohan House is operated by the HSE in partnership with the Irish Wheelchair Association and provides a respite and holiday service for adults with physical and/or sensory disabilities. It has been operating for the last 23 years and caters for over 50 clients with a staff of 14. Minister, I've seen the letter that was sent out to the clients, and to say I was appalled by it is an understatement. It stated, because of the prioritising the provisions of services to enhance cost efficiency and continuous quality improvement, Strohan House will be closing by year end. The letter told the clients that the HSE would continue to offer respite services through facilities in Roscommon, Sligo and Dublin. Tell me, Minister, how is closing down this service of 23 years without one complaint but nothing only admiration, and telling people with these disabilities to travel in excess of 100 kilometres to that service in Roscommon, Sligo or Dublin, how you could describe that as quality improvement? Indeed, Minister, the HICWA inspection at this particular premises in October 2018 found the facility to be fully compliant with all the regulations, and the inspector noted the close bond that existed between the staff and clients, many of which had built personal connections after using the facilities for years. Indeed, the inspector observed that there was an atmosphere of friendliness in the house, and the staff were kind and respectful towards residents through positive, mindful and caring interactions. Overall questionnaires that were submitted to the residents and their families relayed again positive comments with the staff in the centre. Indeed, one resident summed it up in saying that the staff were very friendly and provided a welcoming home-from-home atmosphere. Indeed, clients have further commented that the Strohan House has given them their life back. Family members have said the facility is invaluable and that clients look forward to the next stay on leaving Strohan House. Strohan House allowed those with physical and sensory disabilities to meet with new people and get a few days away from their home. It's simply, Minister, irreplaceable. The HSE letter went on to say that clients and family members were invited to discuss their concerns on the proposed changes. So the letter starts with saying it's closing in December this year, and then suddenly decides to invite them to discuss the proposed changes. It was a cold, crass letter, Minister, telling people with these disabilities that they're losing that respite service in their community after 20 years, and they simply are not in a position to travel the type of distances that are in question. In conclusion, Minister, I know your commitment to services, and indeed we had two disability service houses open, one in Balbriggan and one in Dundalk more recently, to which you committed. But tell me the sense in providing two new facilities and closing down an excellent service. It does not make sense, and corrective action needs to be taken, Minister, before December.
Deputy, first
of all, I want to thank Deputy Declan Breathnach for raising this important issue, and also for giving me the opportunity to outline the position in relation to Strohan House. This government's ongoing priority is the safeguarding of vulnerable people in the care of the health service. We are committed to providing services and supports for people with disabilities which will empower them to live independent lives. This commitment is outlined in the programme for a partnership government. It is guided by two main principles at Carlock: equality of opportunity and improving the quality of life for people with disabilities. Respite services are an important part of the range of services supporting people with disabilities and their families. Short breaks can also provide an opportunity for individuals to meet new people, widen their social circle and gain new experiences. Respite care is crucial in helping to reduce family stress, preserve the family unit and to provide stability. The need for increased respite services is acknowledged, and the HSE continues to work with all service providers to explore the various ways of responding to this need in line with the budget available. As part of its ongoing service provision this year, the HSE will provide over 182,500 respite nights and 32,662 day respite sessions to families in need right across the country. In 2018, there was a significant improvement in respite, as the Deputy has mentioned. An additional $10 million was provided to fund 12 new respite houses, and these houses are now up and running. That's one in each of the HSE CHO area, plus an additional 3 houses in the Greater Dublin area to respond to the very high demand for respite in this area. These additional houses are providing additional respite for families that need it. All 12 houses are now open and all 12 houses are now fully operational. $2 million of that extra money is being targeted at alternative respite services. These are practical and important solutions. Alternative respite is working well locally, with good examples of summer camps, evening and Saturday clubs having taken place, benefiting hundreds of adults and children. Further additional respite initiatives are planned for 2019 in each HSE CHO area. In relation to Strohan House and the Loud Disability Services, I am informed by the HSE, and I only found out this today, by the way, Deputy, that the Loud Disability Services is prioritising the provision of services to enhance cost efficiency and continuous quality improvement in line with the best standard practice. Therefore, the residential respite service at Strohan House will cease operation by the end of December 2019. To facilitate this transition, the Loud Disability Services are currently reviewing respite service delivery and have invited the service users to be part of this process in order to identify what service will best meet their individual and family needs. Loud Disability Service remain committed to providing services to people with physical and sensory needs and will continue to offer respite through a number of options. These include a number of respite services in different locations, such as Woodhaven House, which is a support holiday facility in Sligo for people with MS, Cushla at the Irish Wheelchair Association National Holiday Centre in Roscommon, and the Carmel Fallon Centre and the Irish Holiday Wheelchair Centre in Dublin. So services will be provided, but of course this will all be done in consultation with all the families, and particularly the families of people with disabilities.
Minister, I am not doubting your sincerity, and I know of it in relation to disability service, but I have to say I'm terribly disappointed in the response, and as you indicated, you were only informed of this today. I am calling on you, Minister, to ensure that Strohan House, the services that are there, are supported through and beyond this year. Cost containment is the reason for the closure. I said it at the outset, it's all about cost containment and budgetary measures. This is not about the people who need the services, and if we don't get to grips with this, the vulnerable people in disability services will further suffer. I am saying to you, Minister, that to close this facility, which caters for those with physical and sensory disabilities, is as a direct result of a health budget that is being disallowed and overrun. I, for the life of me, cannot understand why we talk about providing new services, and we're all for that, but to dissipate and restrict services to the most vulnerable in our society. Minister, it's in your hands to get to grips with what management is being dictated to deliver at the expense of people in my community, and I'm quite sure and beyond before the end of this year, that these services and other services will be cut unless provision is made to meet the shortfall that will exist in the budget, which I'm confident and sad to say will be in excess of 132 million. But there is no way that the vulnerable people in this society or in my community should suffer as a result of inability to handle a budget.
Minister. Alaska and Corley say that I'm listening very carefully to Deputy Declan Breathnach's concerns, and I totally accept and am aware of the importance of access to planned respite, which ensures that people with disabilities receive opportunities to socialise and facilitate families to receive a break. Short breaks provide an important opportunity for individuals to meet new people. Of course, you raised the valid point of the 17 billion going into the health services. Within that 17 billion, you have 1.904 in the disability service plan for a HSE service plan for 2019. That's an increase of 7.5%. The additional funding provided last year will also continue. I'll just remind the Deputy in 2019, and in particular the €2 million allocation to be spent on alternative respite services remains a high priority for the HSE. Can I also say, Alaska and Cora, this is not about reducing services. That is the key thing, and they are not being reduced. An alternative service will be provided and maintained. In fact, it's about improving services and the quality of the services, and it's about making the best use of the current resources. As I've stated earlier, the HSE will work with service users and their families in identifying what service will best meet their individual needs. And I am informed that the HSE will set out detailed plans for the service once the consultation process is completed. And that consultation process is very, very important. But I do take your point on the travel issue as well in relation to respite services. My own particular vision for respite services that just should be as near as possible to the families and to the local community. And I do take your points in relation to Shrine services. But I will make your views known on those particular issues. I will make my own views known as well, because some of the concerns that you raised here today, I have the same concerns. Thank you, Alaska.
We move on to the next topic.